Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm a hotel AI expert with extensive experience in modern hospitality operations and performance support, and I am absolutely thrilled to welcome all the students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey today. We are really looking forward to supporting your professional growth in the industry with this explainer. Our goal today is to deliver high-quality, actionable knowledge that aligns perfectly with the realities of luxury hotel operations. So as future hospitality leaders, we have to confront a pretty critical question, one that honestly haunts modern HR offices and busy hotel floors everywhere. Why exactly do we lose our best talent so early in their career journey? It's a stark reality that the initial phase of employment is literally the most vulnerable period for turnover. So let's break down why that happens, and more importantly, how we fix it. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll be moving through the vulnerable first 90 days, managing early job expectations, workload balance and support, integration and positive feedback, monitoring early turnover data, and we'll wrap up with enabling long-term success. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the vulnerable first 90 days. Understanding this critical window really is the foundational bedrock of a successful luxury operation. 90 days. It sounds like a blink of an eye, right? But that brief, intense window represents the absolutely critical first days of employment. The decision to stay or leave an organization is almost entirely formed right here in this time frame. Everything your new hires absorb, from their very first operational hurdles to those early relationships they build in the break room, heavily influences their long-term commitment. To actually reduce this early turnover, we need highly intentional strategies. It's not enough to just train people. Management has to comprehensively address both the practical and the emotional needs of new team members. It's about helping them navigate those overwhelming early experiences smoothly and proactively building foundational relationships literally from day one. Which brings us to our second section, managing early job expectations. This is all about aligning what we promised during recruitment with the actual operational reality. Now, we all know there is often a dangerous gap in our industry between recruitment promises and job reality. Early turnover almost always spikes exactly when the idealized, glamorous role communicated during the hiring phase completely collides with the fast-paced, demanding day-to-day operations on the hotel floor. When employees feel misled or disappointed by that gap, they leave. It truly is that simple. And that is exactly why providing honest communication and realistic job previews is an absolutely essential foundation for retention. We have to be transparent about the challenges as well as the triumphs before they even put on their uniform. Let's transition over to practical daily operations in Section 3, workload balance and support, focusing on how we prevent early burnout. Look, navigating the first 90 days requires a structured map. New employees need guidance to master unfamiliar systems and high service standards without feeling completely lost. We achieve this through 3 main pillars: accessible supervisors, dedicated mentors, and supportive colleagues. You simply cannot drop a new hire into a bustling luxury lobby and expect them to thrive on their own. And beyond just guidance, we have to closely monitor how we schedule. Excessive workloads, unpredictable shifts, or just a lack of sufficient rest will quickly lead to burnout, which is a massive driver of early departure. By actively monitoring workload levels, ensuring predictable schedules, mandating rest, and actually demonstrating flexibility, you signal genuine care for your team's well-being, and that actively strengthens their commitment to you. Moving right along to our 4th section, we're going to look at integration and positive feedback, and the systems required to build social bonds. There is a brilliant principle emphasized by the Europe Hotel School London that hits the nail on the head here. It states that confidence building during early career stages is absolutely crucial for hospitality development. Employees who receive consistent, positive acknowledgement for their progress feel encouraged, they feel motivated, and they're far more likely to push through challenges and refine their skills. So, how do we operationalize that? Well, social integration is key. Employees who form positive relationships through active team inclusion initiatives, informal check-ins with their managers, and shared learning experiences are much more likely to feel anchored to your property. Remember, we are building social bonds here just as much as we are training technical skills. Now we're shifting gears to the HR and revenue office perspective in Section 5, monitoring early turnover data. This is where we use analytics to uncover the real root causes of turnover. To identify the actual patterns behind why people leave early, modern hotels have to lean on the data. We rely heavily on 3 primary methods: rigorous exit interviews to learn exactly why people walk out the door, proactive stay interviews to understand what keeps our current staff happy, and structured employee surveys to gather real-time operational insights directly from the floor. But gathering the data is just the first step, right? The true value comes from taking that information and making continuous data-informed adjustments to your onboarding and engagement strategies. It's an ongoing cycle. We learn, we adapt, and we improve the process for every single new cohort of hires that comes in. Finally, let's look at our concluding section, enabling long-term success. This really frames the ultimate philosophy behind all the retention efforts we've talked about today. I want to be very clear about this. Reducing early turnover is never, ever about lowering our operational standards. Actually, scratch that. It's the exact opposite. It's entirely about enabling success. We achieve this by investing heavily in structured support, crystal clear communication, and authentic human connection during those pivotal first 90 days. And when you make that investment, the results absolutely speak for themselves. A strong 90-day foundation ensures that your new hires are far more likely to remain engaged, highly productive, and deeply committed to your hotel's standard of excellence. You aren't just retaining staff at that point. You are literally building the future leaders of your property. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on. As future leaders, how will you redesign your first 90 days to ensure every single new hire achieves excellence? How are you going to use these AI-supported practices to transform your operations and ensure the long-term success of your teams? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I wish you the absolute best of luck in your ongoing hospitality journey.